who are the favorites?
Yeah, and let's do a little preview without being like a too full-on preview.
Yeah, and we're not going to do a boring group by group thing where people switch off because, Morocco, whatever. No.
I want to know who you fancy. Who, for you, maybe you pick 2 countries who you think have the best chance to go all the way.
I will very easily do that. I will pick Brazil.
Yeah.
And I will pick... I would have picked France, but I cannot get over this, that lightning cannot strike twice.
There's a bit of that curse. However, I think that Deschamps is going back to a very more solid team, much defensive-minded. And you know what? You win World Cup with your defense, not with your attack.
You know what? I would dispute that. And obviously he did it last time, and it worked. It's just that I cannot wrap my head around logically why club football should be so different than international football. Club football, the best teams generally take the game to the opposition. We say it almost every week on the show. Why should national team football be different that way? I'm not saying it can't work.
No, but
just trend-wise,
you need more. You have more time at club level to work on your daily patterns and organization and everything with club, especially for this World Cup. It's an 8-day preparation. It's very short to put everything you want in place. And it's easier, as we always say, to have a very solid defensive organization more than fancy attacking football.
I think that's why, for me, I can't look past Brazil as the best team in the World Cup. They may not win it because, like we said, but Brazil play like a club side. Tite's been there since 2016. I think that matters. There's a tremendous team ethos in it. We've talked about Deschamps' qualities of being a great man manager. I think Chichi has that in spades, maybe even more so because, of course, he didn't ban his best center forward from the national team for many, many years. So I think they have that. The one that interests me, though, is my other favorite, Juls, is Argentina.
Yeah.
Because Lionel Scaloni is on this incredible run. I think we're seeing a different Messi as part of the run. In other words, not a Messi that has to carry the team the way it was under Sampaoli. I do wonder, though, in the end, is this run a bit deceptive?
I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. And I don't think even it's about if it's deceptive or convincing. It's just that they don't know what it is to lose anymore. And I think you go in the mindset when you approach every single game, whether it's Copa America, qualifiers, World Cup, friendlies, finalissima, anything you want, in a way like we can't lose here. We haven't lost. Nobody can beat us. And I do think that they've got an easy group, if you want, where they're going to go from strength to strength to be ready for the last 16 and the quarterfinal and the semifinal. And I really believe Argentina. And Messi is in such great form.
Yeah, see, this is where I paraphrase Mike Tyson. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. I need to know I've picked 2 teams. I need to know your other team. You mentioned France.
Yeah, France is the first one. And for the second one, I just don't think outside of those 3 there's one outstanding candidate. But I would go for Spain. We both like Luis Enrique. We're big fans. It's a team that is not perfect. I give you that, especially in terms of who's playing up front and everything. I just think they can create the surprise. And the more momentum they will get, the more they will advance. I think the better they can be and get that confidence that we saw, for example, against Italy in the semi-final of the Euros, which is a game that they could easily have won.
Yeah, no. As I said about the Euros, I thought Italy deserved to win the Euros, but Spain deserved to win that game, if that makes any sense. You know what? We love Luis Enrique. I think it's fair to say we don't understand
Not always.
Luis Enrique.
That's true.
A lot of his choices, it just seems weird the way he's always moving the team around. I'm a big Oyarzabal fan. Obviously, he's out. With some hope that he might come back for the World Cup. Not there, but it really feels like nobody is essential in Luis Enrique's mind.
Isn't that their strength, maybe? It's that this team is all about the collective. It's all about that unit. And that might be good enough in a World Cup. Again, when we go back to basic on... They've got flaws. Of course, Sarabia hasn't played much and he will start this World Cup. Asensio, same. Morata up front. Then you've got Busquets in midfield. I'm not sure he can run anymore. And at this level, I'm worried. Defensively, to play with 2 left-footed centre-backs in Laporte and Pau, I'm not sure that's, again, how effective that is. However...
But that's okay. If you only had Eric Garcia.
Oh, yeah, please, no, please. Please, no.
Don't get any ideas, Lucho.
Please. But I'm wondering if the collective strength that comes out of that squad, and it's very much Lucho's plan, is like, it's us against the world, maybe it might work.
It is fascinating. It's fascinating. Look, we say about Lucho Enrique is a guy who does not give a flying you-know-what about anybody else. I know it's something we've used a lot. Oh, he marches to his beat his own drummer. This is Luis Enrique. That is, I think, what makes him so fascinating. I think you can pay a price for it. We looked at our favorites, and we'll be getting into some of the other runners and riders, as you like to say, in the Gabs and Juls podcast. All right, enough preview stuff. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go, Gab.
Our own Rob Dawson reporting that Manchester United are going to try to terminate Cristiano Ronaldo's contract following his interview with Piers Morgan. Make sense to you, Jules?
Completely, Gab. I think we announced it in the last show.
We speculated.
We speculated, but they must have listened and watched the show because that was the only way, really, from United to terminate his contract. Breach of contract, whatever you want to call it. I don't think he wants to go back there. I don't think they want him back anyway. So that was the only way out for both parts.
Look, I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I don't know, and you know my thoughts on lawyers. I don't need to go down that road. I don't know that they can terminate his contract for giving an unauthorized interview, which is the only established fact.
Yeah.
Can they turn him for bringing the club into disrepute, whatever? Well, that becomes a gray area. And this is something, these legal actions, they take time. They take months and months.
But you know the quick resolution is, right?
Exactly. Everybody wants a quick resolution.
Exactly.
I think you use this as leverage so that when you do bilaterally or rescind his contract and they all agree, they're going to have to give him money to leave.
So right now they owe him what, 16 million, something like that?
Between now and the end of the season, there's going to be a number upon which they agree. They basically pay him money to go away.
Half of that, and I think they're all happy.
I think half of that, Cristiano would bite their hands off, right?
Big time. Most of the juicy bits from the interview, Gab, has been released ahead of time. But you were struck by something he said about Ralf Rangnick.
Yeah, so obviously Cristiano, not a fan of Ralf Rangnick, which is fine. I think a lot of people might agree with him. Others don't. Certainly the job he did at United. So he said that he'd never heard of him when Ralf Rangnick was appointed, which I don't know if I fully believe or whatever. We've all been around footballers who, they're so focused on themselves and so on. It's not like, we're talking about Ralf Rangnick here. We're not talking about Pep Guardiola. But then he said, and neither did any of the people I talked to.
Now, who is he talking to?
Well, that's what I wonder. I'm pretty sure George Mendes has heard about him.
Surely.
And I don't know if it's one of those things he said or it was a manner of speaking in the interview. But I would imagine when people in normal circumstances, when you get a new boss, you want to find out about him, right?
Yeah.
So I presume he would have rung people up. He would have spoken to his people, says, what is this guy like? What's he going to do? So, yeah, I would take that with a big grain of salt.
I agree.
Meanwhile, Jules, Manchester City had something to say about claims that Cristiano turned them down in 2021 when he left Juventus and went to sign for United.
This is another example of it's going to be word against word. Cristiano says, I turned them down and I went to United because I could not play for City. And now City are briefing saying, hang on a minute, we pulled this deal out before Cristiano could say anything like that. So one is lying. It's either Cristiano or it's Manchester City, but...
Sadio Mane is officially out of the World Cup. Jules, this is pretty massive and frankly sad.
Yeah, really sad. I mean, he had that knee injury with Bayern Munich against Werder Bremen on November the 8th. That at the time looked bad. The first scan after that looked bad, and there was a little hope that maybe he could be fit for the third game in this group stage, or maybe for the last 16. The name,
honestly, he could
but more him than Marcos Alonso, for example.
Alejandro Balde, I'm assuming because he does both flanks, runs more. I don't know. I don't understand Luis Enrique. I just admire him. He's a legend. He's a Lucho legend. More World Cup forfaits, Jules. Nico Gonzalez and Joaquin Correa, both out for Argentina. And in come Angel Correa and Atlanta United's Thiago Almada.
Yeah, I like Thiago Almada a lot. I have to say here, I was surprised when Angel Correa was not in the first list.
I was too.
Which I thought was a little bit
harsh. Which I actually thought,
did
he
put
a J instead of... look, I love El Tuco, but come on.
No, of course. And El Tuco had some good performances with Inter, of course. It's a shame if you're Nico Gonzalez and Joaquin Correa that you're not there. Of course, it's so close and you have to go home and it must be heartbreaking. But I think Angel Correa, probably more than young Almada still, can do a good job for Argentina. Beer will not be available at World Cup stadiums, Gab, following a U-turn from FIFA and the organizer here in Qatar. Many unhappy though.
Yeah. So to make this clear, this country has a certain policy towards for religious reasons towards alcohol in general.
Yeah.
You can purchase alcohol if you're a resident here and you're not Muslim. There's certain shops you can go to, and obviously there are bars and restaurants where you can drink alcohol
in hotels, for example.
in certain hotels. That said, this whole thing is Budweiser, major World Cup sponsor. When they got the game, obviously the first thing they said, Qatar, how are we going to work this? Because we sponsor FIFA and FIFA mediated. They all thought that they had a deal for having beer tents, in the stadiums themselves, not just in the designated fan zone. I can tell you, they were not expecting this U-turn at all. And
It's so close to the competition as well.
I mean, I think you're going to see legal action or threatened legal action and some sort of payment here because, Budweiser paid.
Right.
They spent a lot of money. As to the one thing which bugs me in this, all those people, especially in certain countries, like, oh, it's not a real World Cup if there's no beer. Look, let's be very clear on this. There are a lot of people around the world who don't necessarily associate alcohol with football.
Yeah.
They may drink on their own time, but it's not a big thing. I mean, what?
But the Qatari is saying that a lot of the fans who will be at the World Cup are from the Middle East and South Asia, in countries where alcohol is not a big deal for them.
No,
And
it's not.
so you can understand why for them it's not as important maybe as it will be for an England fans traveling over and can't have all these beers at the game.
You're French, right? You
Yeah.
guys drink wine
We
with
do.
meals and
We
stuff,
do, we
right?
do.
Is it a big part of you sit at home, you flick on the television, and then you start pouring yourself carafes of wine? I mean, it's just different ways.
Exactly. It's different culture everywhere.
Arsenal have appointed a sporting director, and it's Edu.
Well,
Jules,
why are you
this
saying
is
it like
weird.
this?
No, it's weird for me because he's already there. This is the job he was doing,
know,
right?
yeah.
What's the difference? Is it a different job title?
Yeah, exactly. But I think
This is so
but
silly.
maybe it's a reward in a way for the good job that he's done.
I hope they gave him more money and more power. They
I
just
don't know if
changed
they
his
gave him
title.
more money or more power, but I think he was very happy. I think have the time when you got senior writer title at ESPN, you were happy, right?
Yeah, I didn't get any more money or anything. or more.
Ah.
No, but I wondered about this because what was his title before? I don't even know.
I think he might have been technical director or something
now
like
he's
that.
a sporting director.
Sporting director is
All
super
right.
cool.
Okay,
It's
all
super
right.
cool. Well done, Edu, by the way.
Whatever works for you. Well
This
done,
is
Edu. Yeah.
This is well deserved because he's doing a big part of what is making this project successful. So
It also shows, and I'm not mean to troll here, that you can sign Willian and David Luiz, and you can still
here
come
we
back.
go. Don't listen to that. You're doing a great job.
You're doing your
Gianni
very good job.
Infantino announced a while back that he will run for FIFA president, and now, Gab, we're pretty sure that he's going to be re-elected because
Because he's the only one.
Hey!
He's the only candidate on the list.
This is brilliant.
Um,
I'm surprised you didn't run for
So
just in case.
it's funny because there are requirements to this. You need to be nominated, I think, by at least 5 FAs.
Okay,
Have to
fine.
officially support you, and you must have had an active role in an association or a federation or something related to football.
Yeah, so like David
in the
Jonah,
previous
remember
2
when he
years.
had that one time when he, that can't happen.
Our friend Ramon Vega tried to have a
Yeah.
go as well, wasn't able to do it. I think, without boring you about the whole, some people are way into the football politics piece, others aren't. There are enough people in football who have clashed with Infantino, who maybe don't like Infantino. Probably might be healthy for football
Yeah.
if there was a debate, if somebody ran against him. By the same token, the reason they're not running is they think they're going to lose.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
it's as simple as
So
that.
Don't waste
So,
your time and
yeah.
your money. Yeah, exactly.
When Ivan Toney wasn't called up in Gareth Southgate's England squad, many were surprised, Jules. I guess now we have a sense of why he's not there.
Oh, yeah, we knew that there was an investigation over some betting patterns from Ivan Toney. Now we know that I think there's 232 breaches of the gambling rules. If you want, as a player, you cannot bet money on games. That even if your team is not playing, but on football matches in general.
Yeah.
To
The
put it
idea is that you're privy to certain information and stuff, which
that you
isn't.
could get access to, and 230 is a lot. This is
Yeah.
a lot, and this is not looking good for Ivan Toney to start with. And now maybe you understand a bit more why he didn't make the England squad. When I think a lot of us agree that just on pure talent and performances on the pitch, he probably deserved to.
What I don't understand about this is, right, okay, when you're, what was he? Was it Peterborough he was at before Brentford? And which I think my understanding is that when a lot of these bets took place, right? Once you're in the Premier League, once you're doing well, once you're established, why not come clean? Why not say, like, guys, I did this. I might have broken a rule. Rather than have them come to you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
You know, that's...
Yeah, maybe.
That doesn't sit... Not the smartest thing.
No, that's true. As we mentioned, Gab, the World Cup kicks off on Sunday with host Qatar facing Ecuador. And you won't be the only Italian in the stadium.
No, the referee, Daniele Orsato, will be Italian as well. As will, of course... I think both assistants and possibly the fourth official too. Look, we're not so good at getting to World Cups by playing football, so we do a slightly better job by refereeing football games.
Yeah, that's good.
There you go.
Exactly.
Take what you can.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi caused a minor panic earlier today by not showing up to train on the pitch.
Oh, no.
But it's okay because now we know that he trained on his own in the gym. No reason to worry, right, Juls?
No, and he was not the only one, by the way. Our friend from ESPN Argentina was saying, like, in the WhatsApp group that we have, well, things like that happen. You know, there's nothing to worry about. I want to believe them. I really hope so. And we also saw when Argentina arrived here in Qatar and, like, went to the hotel and where they're going to be staying for the whole tournament, that everybody was sharing rooms. I think Di Maria and Paredes are together, something like that. But then Messi had only his name on his door. What? So it's a bit like you, right? He's the only one I share. You don't share.
Well,
you're my Messi, basically.
Seniority has its benefits, I
guess. That's it.
We're going to be back after the break, and we'll be talking Messi footwear. Need more quick hits? Here they come. Lionel Messi will wear specially made gold boots at this World Cup. Jules, you're the footwear expert
I am
here.
indeed.
I have no opinion. The only shoe I remember is when the original Ronaldo wore those shoes at whatever World Cup that was, and they looked really cool.
Yeah. They've come back a little bit as well. Nike have done another kind of version.
You know, I don't associate Lionel Messi with sort of gaudy, tacky gold. It just doesn't seem to be him.
This is not tacky.
No, it's not. These are cool.
It's really cool. It's really
nice. You already pre-ordered them for yourself.
I haven't pre-ordered them, but they're really cool. I think there's something special about Messi playing his last World Cup with gold boots. Karim Benzema is going to wear gold boots, but for another reason. Obviously,
they're all wearing the same gold boots?
They're not the same ones, but for Benzema, they're obviously the Ballon d'Or special edition from Adidas that have the gold around the... Oh, my God, Kareem the Dream.
Yeah, doesn't Messi have like 7 Ballon d'Ors at home?
I know, but like this
year,
the current one, the one that matters the most is the one now, the current one.
All right, so just like Matthias Sammer and Igor Belanov aren't walking around in those gold boots, no?
I mean... Oh, my God. Right. Now, a great few days for Robert Lewandowski. First, he gets a 3-game ban for his red card, remember, in La Liga. Barca, by the way, are appealing to this. And now the Polish FA have sent his personal bodyguard home. What? This
is an odd story. Yeah, no, the Polish FA, I guess like the team have security people, and then apparently he has his own personal guy.
Yeah.
This fellow named Dominik Grucha, according to the Polish FA, he's been associated with right-wing militant groups, some of which, and you know, they run protection rackets, prostitution rackets. He was pictured in a T-shirt, in a Rudolf Hess, a Nazi war criminal T-shirt. Yeah. Obviously, not the kind of person you want associated with you. There's no suggestion that this guy's Lewandowski's friend. I think it might be more the company that provides security. Maybe next time you might want to do a few more checks before you associate yourself with certain people. Jules, this brings us to an end, but we're here. We're in Doha. We'll be going to games.
Yeah.
We got to come back and tell the world all about this.
Exactly. Next show is on Tuesday, isn't it? Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. Until then, as we like to say, love the game, love your neighbor, love yourself.